Moscow, baby, baby. Fuck it, so we fuck it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Love Dog. Pimps, Playas, and Hustlers Fantasy Football League Commissioner Message Week number 8. Wow. We are really getting down to it, man. Week 8 of the fantasy football season. Let you guys know right off the top, we only got 2 weeks left to the trading deadline. Week 10 is the trading deadline, so you have up until week 10 those players' games. You can trade them, and once their game starts, so those guys that play week 10 on Thursday, if you try to commit a trade after Thursday and they played on Thursday, they can't be traded. So you better make sure you understand that, because if anyone comes crying to me, I'll let you know to come check out Commissioner Message Week number 8, where I explained it and you didn't watch. So anyway, I took a loss. I couldn't believe it. I'll come on here and I'll own it. My team, nobody showed up. It only scored 63 points. Plummeted out of the number 1 power ranking. The 63 point will do that for you. Kind of regretting I traded Deshaun Watson 2 weeks ago. That's not looking too good. I thought for sure after Seattle his value would be kind of down, but it skyrocketed even higher after Seattle. So kind of regretting that trade, even though I did get Mike Thomas out of that one. To help my receiving core, which hasn't really been a huge, godsend to my team or anything. But yeah, 63 points this week. I'll show you here in a minute. But yeah, that's not going to get it done. Jameis Winston looked like crap. I think I might have made the wrong decision of keeping him and trading Watson. But it is what it is. I'll live with it. I still like my team on paper. I still think he can do some things. But it's definitely not prone to a 63-point week. The other thing I wanted to get into again real quick, it's just hard, and I know a lot of you commissioners out there have to deal with this as well. When some of these bottom feeder teams are just not doing their jobs on the waiver wire. I know I've come on here and bitched again, but I mean, just this week we had the 5th guy on the waivers get Alfred Morris. Like 3 guys in front of him didn't even make a move, didn't make a pickup or anything. The 4th guy, the Juggernauts, he did pretty good. He went and picked up Robbie Anderson over Alfred Morris, and I guess he found that to be a little bit more on his team. I won't complain about that, but just not to make any moves like Brew Dogs, Papa's Brew. I mean, still holding on to Brandon Marshall, Patty, 289ers. None of you guys could make a move and cock block that at all. I mean, we got guys falling to people that should not be getting them. And this is how someone's going to win a championship that shouldn't be even having a player coming to them. So, I mean, I'll try to appeal to your guys as, better angels for the league. I mean, this is doing the league a disservice. You're not hurting me personally. I mean, it irritates me, but you're not hurting me personally. This is hurting the league. So you guys really need to get up, do what you need to do, and make up those free agents. Pick them up. You got trading bait, or I know they could do a lot better on your bench than some guys that are on the IR not even playing this year. Makes no sense to me. Why do you get into a $400 league and then just not make any moves or try to get better at what you're doing? Like, if you're going to play a game, don't you play to win? I mean, you play to win the game, right? And if you don't know the rules or you don't get the rules, after about a decade or even longer, you think you would understand them? You think you'd get a little bit better understanding of how the game's played, understand a little bit better the nuances of that game? I don't understand how some of these owners have been in this league for so long and continue year in and year out just not to make any moves and just not to take anything about it. I mean, they're all over the group text. They'll sit there and reply and talk their shit and say, what people should be doing and everything else outside of fantasy football, but their team is just sitting there doing nothing but taking up space. But it is what it is. I mean, I guess those are the people that kind of fund the league in a way. You get their money and they don't want to compete. But me as a commissioner, I have to look out for the best interest of the league, and the best interest of the league is to have 12 active members on the waiver wire, picking people up, making it hard so people don't fall to teams that shouldn't be getting them. So there's my rant for the beginning of the message. So, same thing. You can go back 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and you'll still see I was complaining about the same thing about the same people. So I don't know what's going to change, but I had to come on here and try to at least say something again because, again, these guys are just slipping, not doing a thing. Anyway, we had a two-time weekly winner there, back-to-back weeks. Stand up, you cucks. He ended up winning the weekly again this week, but lost Ezekiel, so that's a tough blow. We'll see if he stays suspended, but he'll be suspended at least through the first week of the playoffs. So you got to make the semis without him, and definitely tough task to do, but that's an integral part of your team. But hey, with the way the quarterback scoring is now, dude, Russell Wilson scored 69 points last week. I mean, fuck, dude, you really don't need much more than that. You can go get some free agent quarterback, and Russell Wilson scoring at 69, that's plenty. I mean, that's going to take up 40 and 29 from, it just makes no sense why we have our quarterback scoring. I understand that the scoring is down this year, and I understand that, it's all relative to what it isn't is it's not relative to the other players. So, I think the highest scoring quarterback this year has already got 300 points, over 300 points. And you could take the number 1 and number 2 backs and not get 300 points. You could take the top 1, 2, and 3 receivers and not get 300 points. So the argument of, that's why you get 2 running backs and that's why you get 3 receivers, just doesn't hold weight, man. A quarterback scoring is just, it's not fair to the other players. So when a guy can get you 70 and the best that the other, that really a running back could get was 40, it makes it so there's so much heads and above, to get that. So, to make up those points is really difficult for the rest of the players on the team because rarely do you get 2 40-point running backs or a 30-point running back, 2 30-point running backs, right? So, or 3 15-point or 3 20-point receivers. It just doesn't happen. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't, but it just doesn't happen very often. And it's like, a blue moon or, just something real, real rare that happens when it does happen. So anyway, we'll just look to change that next year. I got to find a way to get someone else to bring that up because anytime I bring it up, people just, vote against it to make me mad. So you know what? We got to figure out another way. I think I have to pork belly it onto a different voting agenda item and somehow slip that through there because if I bring it up, it'll just get voted back to the way it was. And what's up with the rookie, man? The guy's making trades for quarterbacks left and right, and his excuses are so Luke-like. I mean, he trades away Russell Wilson after 1 week, and then he goes, it's hard to hold on to a guy named Russell Wilson when you hate the Seahawks so much. I can't root for him and be Seahawk guy and hate the Seahawks. Well, then why the fuck did you take him in the second round? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to take this guy in the second round because I hate him so much and I can't root for him, and then I'll trade him after 1 game. And then now he's traded away, and I traded for Tyrod Taylor, still has Matthew Stafford. So, guy's just all over the place. He has no method to his madness. Went ahead and traded for Jordy Nelson after Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Traded away Kareem Hunt. I guess the best trade that he made was with me, where he traded away the Broncos D for pretty much getting Jordan Howard and Tyreek Cohen. So, I mean, that was probably his best trade because Broncos D has been crap, which is kind of disappointing for me. But, again, that's a different story for a different day because the Commish message ain't about the Commish. It's about the league. It's about PPH. That's right. I got to give everyone out props too, man. Props to everyone out there in the text message. I could tell that the political, since I had Montardo here 2 weeks ago, everyone's toned it down on the political rants. Even you got to give me credit. I haven't said anything about Manafort or anything that was happening with the indictments that went down. Kept that all to myself. I might have texted some of you privately, but not part of the group text. So props to everyone out there for taking the political talk out of the group text for the last few weeks. And I guess the World Series, too, has been kind of taking up a lot of the text message time. So hopefully when this World Series is over here and the Astros, even though I'm an A's fan, hate the Dodgers. I mean, God, who likes the Dodgers? I know there's some of you out there, but I mean, ugh, God, the Dodgers. I just baked in Dodger hater in '88, Gibson off Exersley. So that sealed the deal for me. Never liked the Dodgers from that point forward. Ain't gonna happen. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead. Since with no guest this week, we'll get into last week's games, and then I'll be back to wrap it up. All right, here we go. Week 8, PPH. All right, well, here we go. Here's how your boy took his second loss of the season here. And pretty mad at the two people I lost to. I lost to Papa's Brew and the Haters. I mean, these two guys aren't known as the fantasy juggernauts of our league, and to lose to them is quite embarrassing. But it is what it is, so if I have to lose to the dunces of the league, and I'm still schooling the supposedly experts of the league, then that's fine by me. Anyway, there's really not much to talk about on my team. Even Le'Veon Bell had a down week and fumbled, of all things. I mean, the guy rarely fumbles, so you know how weird of a week that is. Hopefully this doesn't happen again, but, Winston with 13 killed me, Bell with 10, and then rest is the rest. I guess Mike Evans and Thomas didn't have bad games. All they needed were touchdowns on top of those, and they'd have been great, but what up with the Broncos, their offense is just killing their defense, but hopefully there's better games to come there. Haters there, led by his team by Tom Golden Boy Brady. I should say Tom, I don't need a backup Brady. I guess they got Hoyer now, but with 39 points there. Alshon Jeffrey showed up, of course, against the Niners. Well, who else? I mean, God, my guys couldn't even stop Alshon from hurting me, but 14 from him, and then 21 from his kicker, free agent kicker at that. So good pickup there. And then Gronkowski with 11. If you would have showed me this, he started off Thursday night with 0 from his defense, so I thought I was in a good spot to win this, but again, not much going on with my team right now. From the top, from first to worst practically. I'm not too concerned, but we'll see how this week plays out. We'll take it from there. In the next game, we got Patty's Playboy taking their 7th loss in a row, losing to Flat Earth Conspiracy 94 to 148. Patty's Playboys really got much going on there. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster was a great pickup for him with Ben Roethlisberger, but other than outside those two guys, not much really going on in his squad. Like I said, Alfred Morris, I think, would fit pretty good in this squad, don't you? I would think everyone would agree, right? Everyone would say, oh, yeah, if he picked up Alfred Morris, then, who could he drop? Let's see, who could he drop out down here? I don't know, maybe Lynch, maybe? Or maybe one of the other defenses that you're carrying? Or Amendola? Jared Cook, for Christ's sake. I mean, free agent tight ends this year, dime a dozen. Anyway, like I said, Alfred Morris would have fit nicely on there. Flat Earth Conspiracy, I guess, raped me for Watson. Jesus Christ. I didn't think that was going to happen. I don't think a lot of people thought that was going to happen. So, 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He did have the 3 interceptions and 67 yards rushing. Ended up with 61 major points. And I'm kind of regretting that trade now. Michael Thomas, Watson would have done a lot better than Winston, right? So, anyway, Kamara shows up with 12, and then Blunt gets him his 10. I don't know how that J.H.I.J. trade's going to turn out for him. He's going to be looking for a second, running back there. I don't know what Blunt's role is going to be in this offense now. Doug Baldwin with 5, and that's pretty surprising when Russell Wilson throws for 400 yards and over 400 yards and for 4 touchdowns, and Doug Baldwin only ends up with 54 yards. That's got to be a little concerning there. Golden Tate with only 5 there. Emmanuel Sanders didn't even play. He starts a guy who didn't even play. Bud Gaki doesn't even deserve the win when he pulls shit like that. What a dipshit. And then Travis Kelce with 20, and then Brandon Welsh with 11, and the Bills defense with 24, more than made up for starting an inactive receiver. But yeah, that's cocky bullshit that deserves you to lose. That's bad. The fantasy gods are going to come back and punish Flat Earth Conspiracy for pulling some bullshit like that. In the next game, we had the Juggernauts take a 149-73 loss to the Rookies. Juggernauts really pedestrian game by Prescott. I think if the Juggernauts would have checked the weather report, would have probably started someone else. I don't think he could have though. 19 from the Seahawks D, and that's really all that was going on in his squad. Again, the Rookies just a rudderless ship here, just grasping for straws. Tyrod Taylor with 28. That was a free agent pickup. Jordan Howard, solid 12. LaShawn McCoy, his draft pick, 24, so that's big. 32 from DeAndre Hopkins, that's major. 12 from his kicker, which he drafted. And Eagles, 32 points, free agent pickup there, which allowed him to deal the Broncos D. So we'll give him credit for that move. His defensive moves are good, but I don't know what's up with his quarterback moves. But he does have some options now with Mariota and Tyrod Taylor and I thought he had Stafford, but I guess not. And then he's got Luck, but who knows if he's coming back. So Rookies improves to 5-3 and takes that 143 point, pretty large score for him. So good shit for him. Next game, a close one. Fuck the NFL. Took a 116-107 win over Papa's Brew. Papa's Brew again. Tell me, a cockblock of Alfred Morris here wouldn't help this team. Give him some trade bait. Maybe get him a tight end better than Fleener. Hello. Curly. I mean, you got Curly, dude, starting. Give me a break, dude. T.Y. Hilton with only 1 point. Ryan with 32, that's been solid. 22 from Gordon's been solid. Chiefs D with 30, solid. Kai Forbath with 14, solid. But couldn't get over the hump there. Fuck the NFL. 24 from Phillip Rivers. 18 from Lamar Miller. 25 from Fuller, who's just been a monster. But I can't see him keeping up with the touchdown machine this guy's been. Maybe he can, but man, he's just been a machine since he came back from that shoulder injury. Prater with 18 and then 15 from the Vikings D, and he's improved to 5-3. Next game we have the weekly winner of Stand Up You Cucks taking a 166-93 win over the Basket of Deplorables. Basket of Deplorables only got 22 from Newton, 13 from Sanu, and 13 from Jones. Bengals D with 20, so that was a good free agent pickup. I mean, even look at Alex Smith with 26 against tough defense. I don't know whether that's a tough decision every week he has to make between Smith and Newton. Back of the Poors, again, look at Russell Wilson with 69, 452, 4 touchdowns. He did have a passing interception, so really he should have 72 points. Jesus, you guys are crazy with this Bush League scoring. 25 from Ezekiel gets him a weekly right before he gets suspended, so that's good. And then 39 from the Ravens D. I mean, this is the story of our season. I mean, our defenses are just too wide scoring. I think we need to really tighten this up a little bit. They can get you 40 or they can get you -6. We need to have not a limit, but it needs to be somewhere in the middle there. 40 points from a defense is crazy. I just don't, crazy. We'll talk about it at the rules meeting in March. Anyway, congratulations to Stand Up You Cucks. They win. But he has major issues now with Ezekiel going there. And then in the last game, we had the URSO take a 106-86 win over 289ers. And 289ers could have used Alfred Morris. He's down there. He could have used maybe even Robbie Anderson. Just the guy, you saw him on the Commish message last week. He finds his fun at the draft and then checks out. And we're going to have a discussion at the rules meeting with him about trying to be a little bit more involved, even if, just picking guys up. But 29 from Drew Brees from him, 10 from Coleman, 14 from Matt Bryan as kicker, 10 from the Patriots D. Wentz with 32 for USRO, 15 from Thielen, 24 from the Panthers D, and 11 from Hushka. So that was week 8 in PPH. Yep, that's week 8, y'all. Anyway, I went ahead and I prayed to the fantasy gods, and they are blessing me for this week. I don't think I'm going to be taking only scoring those 63 points this week. So, fantasy gods are blessing your boy. You know, they're giving me the good jujus there, the good fantasy jujus to get this win this week against fuck the NFL. I mean, come on. You can't lose to fuck the NFL, especially when I love football. I love it. I don't care what they do. They can sit, stand, kneel, whatever. It don't affect me watching the game and my fantasy score. So, you know what? I still have fun doing it. If they want to boycott it, whatever. Let them boycott it. But anyway, Fantasy Gods blessing me this week with the win, with the big score. Need to get those points scored because you just need them. You know, it's going to come down to playoff time here. Again, we only got 2 weeks left for the trading deadline. You have been warned. I don't want to hear any bitching and complaining about wanting to extend it because you didn't know. So again, I'll just refer you. Go look at week 8. I brought it up like twice, 3, 4 times during the Commish message. So, and while the fantasy gods were blessing me. So I was like, you know, multitasking during the Commish message. Getting blessed, giving you information. That's how I do. And that's how PPH does. We multitask. Anyway, good luck everyone in week 9, and I'm out. Check you next week. Peace.